Talofa Faithful. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to another Niner Faithful Radio weekend review show. I hope your week was a lot better than mine. My week fucking sucked. And I got to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and do some weekend work, practically another full day. But I need some money because it's not that time of year. You know, got to pay bills, got to buy the wife a Christmas gift, all that kind of crazy stuff. I know. None of us want to do that kind of stuff, but we got it. So that's it. So we have Jamie back today. Yay, haven't seen Jamie in a minute. We'll talk to her, see how she's doing. TJ is having some issues with his internet this evening. From my understanding, they're having some pretty good weather down there, down in Cali. So he's having some issues with that. But other than that, so we're gonna have Jamie in today. TJ may or may not be in today. All depends on if he's able to get. He said Comcast would be by his house about between 6 and 7 or something along those lines. I don't know. He was texting me and I was working, so I didn't get the whole thing. But anyways, so give us just a second. We're gonna hit this show get the show started proper. And we'll be right back.
Sponsored by Power Brand Systems. Need help getting new customers for your business? Let Power Brand Systems help you grow with their powerful tools. Visit powerbrandsystems.com/NinerFaithfulRadio for more info. If you like our content.
Well, I hit the wrong one, and my actual intro clip isn't actually here. So, you know what? We're just going to skip all that good stuff for today. And then, what's up, Jamie? How you doing?
Hey.
It's been a minute.
You hear me okay?
I can.
Awesome. Yeah, I got lucky. Worked earlier today because they've been scheduling me Friday nights the last while. And so that's why I haven't been on the Friday night show, but they scheduled me in the afternoon today. So, it worked out.
Well, let's see what's up to everybody in the chat because apparently it seems to be going a little crazy. We got Tommy in the house. What's up, Tommy? Juwan Jennings is mid. SS. Oh, Steve-O Supremo. That's where we go. Oh, look at this. And now we got Tommy saying, "What's up, fairies? How you doing?" Now we'll say hi to Tommy proper. And we are playing the Nazi grammar police apparently with Steve over here. Miss Teresa, how's it going? Thank you very much for jumping in as usual. And it's the Steve-O Sleezo. You're a mid dog owner. I don't know what's going on here. I believe other than just calling Juwan Jennings mid, which is not true. I'm gonna have to back Tommy up on that one.
Very much not mid, but
but I will also give Steve-O let him explain it. If he can, let's see maybe he's got some points that we never thought of. But as long as he can, back it up with some facts, we'll see what he says. Then we got Miss Teresa chiming in one more time. Injuries, yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But anyways, before we get started, y'all know this is a drinking show. What's it say? Go vacuum and fluff the couch, cousins. And when your wife... What?
No idea. I don't understand it.
Steve-O, man, you got some weird ones. Every once in a while, Steve-O puts some up. I'm like, how high is Steve-O? But anyways, I don't know about you, but so we haven't seen you, in 3-4 weeks? Actually, I think it's been longer than that, haven't you?
That's about right. Honestly, might be a little bit longer. Yeah, I haven't. It's funny because once everything started kind of exploding is kind of when my schedule flipped. And so I haven't really gotten to touch base with you guys about how everything has been going because it's been quite the ride the last month and a half.
Ain't it though?
So I'm sure we'll talk a little bit about that, but yeah, I do know we have some injury updates, and I'll probably talk about them tomorrow when I do the presser show tomorrow, and whatnot. So we'll get into it for sure.
All right. So as usual, everybody, this is the drinking show. So do you have anything, or are you just doing your water tonight?
I just have my water right now.
Just your water? All right. So I let the wife make the choice for me, and she's been, and so she actually wants this can, is why she got it for me. It's got a Schillings hard cider Moonsberry. It's got a drunk chubby unicorn.
I like the can though. I do. I appreciate.
I have no. I'm gonna guess this is supposed to be a grape or raspberry,
Probably.
something else. Let's see if I can actually drink this without a straw because I got a cracked tooth, so this shit's probably gonna hurt like hell. But all right, everybody, the weekend is over. It's Friday. Congrats, and we'll move on to the next one. It's not bad. As she's just staring at me. It's tart, but it's good.
Okay, we'll save you again.
Okay, now get out of here. Blow, pack, blow.
Shut up, loser.
As you guys know, she is the Packers fan, and so there's lots of shit talk going on in the house this weekend. But yeah, so I was like, I'm gonna see what this.
So how are we feeling? How are we feeling about everything that's been happening? Yeah. That's a very appropriate answer.
Wait a minute. I've got more in the fridge. That answers your question. I've got a lot more in the fridge that might not make it tonight.
Yeah. That kind of stuff. I don't know, man. It's been kind of wild. But,
okay, Steve was saying that, to tell your wife to sleeping on the couch. Got it, because more than likely we're going to argue. We're going to find
that makes more sense now. Yeah.
Whoever loses is probably sleeping on the couch Sunday. Okay, I get you now, Steve. That makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Tommy's over here. I'm off till next Monday. Boy, I wish I could be off, brother. Tommy said, "Fuck the slackers." And unfortunately, Tommy, I'm not sure what emote you were going for, but this is all we got here, unless it showed up on. Let me see if it showed up maybe on.
I don't see it. It just has the.
One of our viewers.
Is that the puking face?
Yeah, that's what it is. So I can only see it over on YouTube. He was just being funny.
Mm.
Okay, well, get out of my room. Take the cat and go away, woman. All right, so it's the pukey face. So now I have to hop over onto YouTube because I'm only using the restream.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and bring this up, and just so you know, everybody, I came home. I got home at about roughly 5:00, and so obviously there was a lot of news that came out today. Obviously, have to do with Brock, and we'll get into that in just a second. So I got everything but the betting tab switched over with new stuff and updated. So some of this is just was hastily put together in that last minute. And by the way, I hadn't eaten since 12:00, so I was also forcing a grilled cheese sandwich and tater tots down my face at the same time. Delicious. So anyway, yes, it is week 12. We are going to the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. I don't actually think it's going to be frozen, though. Last I looked, I haven't looked. Let's see what the weather's going to be like in Green Bay.
I saw, I think, was it last week? Ohio's getting snow. So it is definitely getting to be that time with the colder areas. But yeah,
it's actually not bad right now.
I haven't looked at
46 degrees right now.
Not bad.
Over there. Sunday, it's going to be a high of 44. The low is 42, so it's not going to move much, and it's going to be cloudy. So, I mean, it's not the doom and gloom 6 feet of snow Green Bay thing that
That's good. At least.
Yeah. So anyway, I know I'm not acting faithful. So I feel you though. I mean, I get you. I understand the people who are feeling that way, and I understand it. But again, there's also any given Sunday. Yeah, I would assume.
Those are not traveling.
I mean, the man's probably having a hard time walking. I mean, the whole oblique thing worries me.
It's his obliques now, not his hip.
Yeah, it's like it goes. It's like the whole area from what I've been saying. But yeah, so obviously, we got Brandon Allen stepping in at quarterback. Kenny said Allen is better than Purdy. Kenny's crazy. He's high on something.
The only slight benefit to Allen playing right now is that I don't even know if it's really a benefit but I did see something about Matt LaFleur said that he has worked with Allen before, Because I was gonna say if he hadn't really seen Allen, then maybe there's something there that Allen could potentially use to kind of benefit himself. But like, I really don't know. It's gonna be a weird game. I feel like it's gonna be a very weird game.
Journeyman quarterback is journeyman quarterback. So I mean, I know I've seen lots of people screaming today. Why aren't we? Why aren't we going with Josh Dobbs? Blah blah blah. The passionate. I'm not going to say he's any better or worse. Allen is going to run this system better than Josh Dobbs. Mm-hmm. Josh Dobbs
has the athleticism.
Yeah, more. Well, Josh Dobbs has more of that wild card factor. Mm-hmm. Brandon Allen is going to run this offense to a T, kind of like Purdy does. You know what I mean? There's going to be probably closer to what Purdy was doing when he first came in. There's not going to be a whole lot to take in here there. Not a whole lot of improvisation. Why is that word so hard? Not a whole lot of that coming from Brandon Allen. That's not his game. He's going to run this game. If Shanahan's system says drop back 3 feet, turn, look to your left, that's exactly what, there's going to be no if and or buts. That's all Allen's going to do. Now, if that's not there, Allen's probably going to freak out a little bit. And that is where someone like Joshua Dobbs would, in fact, do a better job. But let's not get all crazy. I think Joshua Dobbs is crazy, or is like some great, quarterback. Joshua Dobbs, also a journeyman quarterback for a reason. Honestly, to me, he is a more mobile Jacoby Brissett. That's all. To me, that's all he is. He's a more mobile Jacoby Brissett.
I don't think I don't think that's like a bad take at all. I think that makes a lot of sense because I do feel like he has more of that athleticism. Improv that I feel like us as Niner fans like. But I do feel like Allen probably has a better mental thing with Shanahan's scheme and the playbook a little bit. So
what's up, Papa J? How you doing, brother?
We'll have to see. It's gonna be a weird game regardless. But, maybe something crazy will happen. Maybe Allen will surprise people, be able to do something. I don't know. I mean, he's going to at least have CMC. He's going to have Debo. Hopefully, I can't remember if I saw anything about Kittle, but
Kittle's
playing. Yeah, so, I mean, he'll have options. So, we'll just have to see what ends up happening. It's going to be weird. So
we got Teresa saying Dobbs is better in her opinion. And again, everybody's opinion is valid. I'm not sure what Tommy's referring to as far as that was a bad take. Allen is 2-7 as a starter. Again, we're saying what's up to Papa J. And Papa J is saying, is having Josh Dobbs and Brandon Allen better than having Jimmy and Trey? Well, are you talking about as like a combo, like one is a starter? Yeah, like if backups, let's see. So Josh Dobbs better than having. I mean, honestly, I would take Jimmy over both of them as backups.
Yeah.
And honestly, probably Trey. Yes, Trey, out of all of these guys that we may or may not be talking about, is the wild card. Could it be better? Sure. Could it be worse? Sure. We don't know. So, but yeah, I mean, I'd probably roll the dice and say yes on Trey.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely I would take Jimmy over Josh Dobbs and Brandon Allen any day.
I just think, regardless of how we all feel about Jimmy, I think, his experience in the system, and he's looked the best when he's played in the system, regardless. So, we know he can at least win games in the system. So, it's, I think I would agree with that take.
Okay. All right, so going on to transactions this week. Let's see. On the 18th, we return to Sean Gibson and Nick McLeod back down to the practice squad. More likely going to be elevated again this weekend. Maybe some Feliciano, depending on what's going on, could also be elevated. And then we also signed defensive end Jonathan Garvin to the practice squad, someone that's been around for a little bit, kind of a thing. So nothing crazy, nothing standout-ish. It's just your typical normal week or, around the transactions.
Yeah.
All right. And then bring this up what Tommy is talking about. Jair Alexander out. Also out for the Packers is going to be Adrian Cooper, their linebacker, and then questionable is going to be Colby Wooden. And then we go up here to our part. Man, Ethan Buffoon out. Nick Bosa out. Jacob Cowell still can't see straight out. Kevin Givens out. Brock Purdy out. Javarius Ward out. I'm not surprised that Ward is out this week, considering he was gone for about 2.5-ish weeks.
Something about that.
With the passing of his daughter and all that. So he just got back in the facility. More than likely, I'm going to assume probably wasn't working out. Obviously had more important things to do during that time. So he's probably going to need next week. Probably
and
give him this
honestly,
week.
Our corners is kind of a position where I'm like not terribly worried right now.
Yeah. I think we'll be okay. I mean, the Packers do have a pretty good wide receiving core, which of course, adding someone like Ward would be better. But we go out there with Demo after getting paid. Speaking of which, I don't think you've got to actually speak your mind on Demo getting paid.
I'm pretty excited about it. I mean, I think that's a really good. I'm just surprised that they signed him this early. I think that was the biggest thing. Is like, but I hope that is kind of the move moving forward instead of dragging these contract extensions out.
Yep.
And I think while they paid him a lot of money, I think it's going to probably save them some in the long run. So we'll just have to see what ends up happening. But no, I think it's a good move. I mean, keeping Demo, makes a lot of sense. He's still a young corner. He struggled in the beginning, but he's really come around. He's played really well the last season or two. So it makes a lot of sense. So and then we got the two rookies that we drafted, Green and then Mufasa coming in. So we're boosting our secondary for the most part, it feels like. So I'm pretty hyped about it, and I think them signing him early is good. I think that's I think the biggest thing is just them getting in front of it instead of dragging it out now. So I think they hopefully finally learned we can't keep letting these guys drag it out because then we're gonna end up losing
the BA situation all over again.
Yeah, the BA situation, even letting Bosa's contract linger as long as it did the season before. So it's just we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. So,
obviously, we're gonna have Green out there. We'll have Lenore and Green starting. Isaac Gadam, who's actually been playing pretty good. I know he's been on the end of a few bad plays where some people don't like him, but overall, he hasn't been playing that bad.
No, I feel like we're in a pretty solid spot right now. I mean, I would rather have Ward out there for sure. I mean, I think everybody would, but for what Ward's going through right now, I think we're fine. We're all right.
Agree. The other one on here, is just with Trent Williams. He was struggling last week. Obviously, there's the video of him walking in where he's got a pretty good limp walking into the stadium and everything. He didn't participate all week. Let's see what happens. You know what I mean? I haven't seen any video. Again, I got home really late, and usually I get home with 2 or 3 hours. So I like to go through the video of people who are able to put the stuff up from practice and everything. Wasn't able to go through that and look to see if there was anything with as far as Trent walking. Steve-O, I know you're pretty good at scouring the internets for that kind of stuff. So if you have anything, Steve-O, go ahead and let me know. Because I just didn't have the time when I got home today. And John Feliciano, as far as being questionable, he's probably ready to come back. It's just we have to elevate him to the main roster this week or he's done for the season. We have by Monday by 1 o'clock, I think is what it is. Okay. So he's got to be. Or else, like I said, we lose him for the season. And we definitely need something better out there to back up everybody. Feliciano is talented enough where he can back up all 5 positions. But it's the question of do we throw him in there at center? That at this point, I'm not against it.
I agree. For sure. Our O-line is kind of a mess, and it's stressing me out big time. But I think with the Trent Williams things, I know he played last week. I don't know if that was the right move, because he did have a pretty bad limp when he came in. He was not looking great when he walked in. So, and like you said with the reports, it looks like he definitely did not participate this week in practice. So, like, I wouldn't, as much of it, like, with the way the season's going, I wouldn't, like, just sit him if he needs to sit. Like, we got to do what we got
Can
to
we
do.
afford to?
We can't, but, like, I don't know what else to do. Because, like, he can't, like, it's going to be a struggle if he goes out there this week, I feel like. Unless his ankle feels like a million times better, like, this week. But
I think this is a slightly weaker defensive line, honestly.
you think he'll have an easier time this week a
I
little
think,
bit?
if it's of the same pain threshold, maybe. Again,
Mm-hmm.
I think the Packers' defensive line is a little bit weaker than the Seahawks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So we move
I don't
on
know.
to-
I just, yeah, I think this injury list, like, just kind of sums up the season, like how we've been dealing with all season this year, and it's wild. But yeah,
It's not even
we'll
the
see.
biggest one. We had one at the beginning of the year. No, it was actually during training camp where we had like 27 people or something listed at one. Like, it was actually 2 pages when I do this slide. And I was just like, okay,
It was
thankfully this
stupid.
is only the preseason.
Oh
Yeah,
my
because it was right before
god.
the Saints game. That's what it was. When we
Oh
had
wow.
to cancel joint practices because we was like, look, man, we're gonna have like 4 people practicing out there right now.
It's wild, man. It's so wild.
All right, then we have the coaching staff of the Green Bay Packers. Obviously, we know Matt LaFleur. We know these guys pretty well. We've played them a bunch. Their OC Adam Stenovich is pretty much OC in name only. He's basically like a glorified quarterback coach. Matt LaFleur calls all the plays or anything. Amazing record to start his career.
Yeah.
Just hasn't been able to do much in the playoffs. But like I said, regular season, he's an amazing head coach.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I think he's done really well over at Green Bay for the most part, especially during the regular season. And I think isn't oh, I'm blanking on the name. Never mind. So I mean, they have a good thing going over in Green Bay, I feel like. So, they play a strong team, have a strong offense. They've done pretty well despite their injuries that they've been going through, and stuff. And they're playing in a very, very tight division as well, with dealing with the Vikings and the Lions this season. So, like, yeah.
Yeah. Also on the coaching staff is like a special advisor, whatever you want to call it. They've also got Robert Saleh helping them out a little bit by little. I know a lot of people are mad because Saleh didn't come back to help out the 49ers. Well, if you know about him and LaFleur's relationship, they were the best man in each other's wedding. So, yeah, I think that, literally best friends, I would assume. You don't, typically your best man is your best friend for the most part. So, while everybody would love to see Saleh back here, I think for the most part, it's obvious that, he would go to Green Bay with Matt LaFleur.
And I wouldn't be surprised after everything that happened with Saleh up in New York. Matt called him and said, "Hey, do you want to come?" Like, maybe.
Yeah.
Offering him, like, it's totally cool if you want to take a break, but if you don't want to take a break, I could find something for you over here to help out if you want.
Well, he's kind of got a different position for him, is that he's been a defensive-minded coach his whole career.
Mm-hmm.
And he's actually working with the offense for the Packers, which I think for him personally and his growth is amazing for him as a coach going forward, because he's taking the defenses so he's right now, he's probably taking the San Francisco 49ers defense. He is breaking that aspect of the game down, and then he's presenting it to the offense of the Packers. But like, this is Nick Bosa. This is what Nick Bosa does. But by the way, they have this really good cornerback out here, with Bernardo Green as a rookie. So, I mean, him getting that kind of experience, I think does so much for him as a coach and his growth, that I'm kind of excited to see what's next for Robert Saleh.
Yeah, I mean, I am too. I think the Jets job was just kind of a disaster. It's the Jets, literally. So like, I feel bad. I feel like with him and D'Amico obviously got the better spot going to Houston. So like,
he should have took that Lions job. I wanted him to take that Lions job.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so I mean, we'll see. I mean, I would love to have Salah back next season. I would, but I'm not holding my breath for it.
Yeah, I'm not holding my breath for that one at all.
But I mean, it would be awesome. I would love it. But like, Green Bay's probably going to figure something out for him, or he'll figure something out. So
yeah. All right, next on the list, we're going to take a look at the Packers offense, obviously led by one of the young guns in the NFL, Jordan Love. Love is a good quarterback, depending on how you want to look at him. If you want to look at like the interception, he's got more interceptions than he does passing touchdowns. He's got 10 to 11 right now. But he's got the big arm. Obviously, Josh Jacobs picked up, coming over from the Raiders. He's keeping up. He's almost to 1,000 yards. They've got a plethora of wide receivers out there right now, led by Jaden Reed. But you also have Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson, and Tucker Kraft up there. So, I mean, they've got enough receivers up there to where they can spread the ball. As you can see, they've got a pretty good offense with, points scored, they're 8th, total yards 4th, passing yards 9th, rushing they're 4th, and time of position is 14th. That time of position would be better. Well, yeah, it's very solid. And that time of position would easily be top 10 if Love could cut down on the interceptions. They have 13 giveaways this month. That's tied for 10th in the NFL and second most among teams projected to reach the playoffs. So they've got to get that under control, especially when they go to the playoffs. Jordan Love has thrown 10 interceptions. He's tied for most in the NFL. They've been penalized 37 times just on offense. That's not including their defense. So just that makes them 6th in the NFL. And then they've also dropped 23 passes, 3rd in the league. So they're not helping Jordan Love out as much as they should at the same time.
That's wild. If you look at like their passing yards per game and like how many yards they're actually getting passing the ball, and then they're still dropping, having one of the highest drops, that's wild.
Yeah. I want for reference. I should have looked this up, but I didn't do it. Finish drop passes. Doesn't say. Let me try that. The 49ers only have 12 drop passes this year, which I honestly thought that'd be a lot higher to be honest. In fact,
I feel like it would be, but I also feel like recently we haven't that as much.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like BA was the one who was dropping a lot of passes.
Yeah, so what was it, like 9 of them on BA or something?
I mean, it might be. I don't even know. But, like, I feel – because BA at the beginning of the season was not –
dropping everything.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's definitely good. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But, no, that's a lot of drop passes, though. I hope that the corners, the secondary is ready for that. Like,
yeah, they're gonna come after him, but at the same time, they are gonna go after these guys. One of my bets was that Love throws as many interceptions as he does touchdowns for the most part. He's doing his very best to become very Brett Favre-ish in that aspect.
That's the vibe I'm getting.
So
he has
I'm expecting
more Brett Favre than Aaron Rodgers.
So I'm expecting him to at least throw one.
Oh yeah.
And with stuff like that and the way these guys have been ball hawking lately, that's the kind of stuff we're gonna do to end up changing the momentum of this game and getting it back onto our side, especially with no Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
And then their defense is a little bit mid for the most part, if you will. It's very mid, but it's a very opportunistic defense. Like they're a very bend, fumble recovery, bend, interception. So, like I said, you can move on this team decently well. It's just that at some point they are going to be able to make that opportunity play. They blitz a lot. Their blitz rate is 50%. I wish our blitz rate was 50%. The defensive line isn't all that. Besides Rashawn Gary, I don't think their defensive line is all that great. As you can see here, with as far as it goes with getting pressures, among 61 edge defenders, they have the 47th, 58th, and 60th on their line, besides Rashawn Gary. The run defense has been pretty good. It's 14 again. It's very, very opportunistic more than anything else. In 6 of 9 games this season, they've allowed 4 yards or less per carry. You do that to most teams, you're going to be winning games.
Yeah. That blitz rate makes me a little bit nervous. That's a kind of high blitz rate, but we'll see. I mean,
especially with what's going to be going on. Is Trent going to be playing? Obviously, we're going to have the backup, with Allen and or Dobbs. I bet you we see both of them playing a little bit on Sunday. And it's not like Purdy was being a world beater against the blitz either. That's one thing a lot of teams were doing where they were blitzing the hell out of him because he was having issues with it.
And
so
he's dropping back a lot more too this year.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I think that factors into it a little bit. But yeah, no, for sure. Purdy, the one thing I think we underappreciated about Jimmy G a little bit is Jimmy G had such a quick release. And that was something that he was one of his benefits where he was able to get the ball out fast. Purdy does have a pretty quick one, but not as quick as Jimmy. So it's an interesting thing. But yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll see. I mean, I haven't watched too much of Brandon Allen, so I can't really say too much about him. But from what I've seen in the preseason, yeah, I know. So we'll see. I think the biggest hope is that he comes out and he's able to just do something that takes Green Bay by surprise, that throws them off a little bit, and then they're able just to ride the momentum through the game. I think that's I don't want to be a downer and say, but if Trent Williams is out, we have a beat up O-line, Brock Purdy's out, Nick Bosa's out, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. And so that's kind of that's gonna be our saving kind of grace, is just something crazy happening and that the Niners are able to kind of just ride the wave and somehow hang on for dear life. So
basically, yeah.
Basically, as long as the Niners can control, as the defense can control the Packers' offense, we might have a shot. That's the thing.
Yeah,
possibly.
Sure.
And if the offense, we'll see, it's going to be. I think the interesting thing is going to be what Kyle Shanahan's game plan is going to be for Sunday. If it's changed anything with Brandon Allen being in as quarterback. If there's any,
I'm sure it's going to change.
Yeah, so I think that's going to be the interesting thing with Sunday. So.
Just all right. Then going forward, here are the fantasy stats. Obviously, everybody's fantasy stats went down a little bit with Brock being out there. At this point, honestly, if I'd start CMC, I'd start Kittle. That's honestly about all. I mean, if you have other options besides Juwan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall, Debo, I'd go with him. Honestly, I would. But those are the only two that I would absolutely start with fantasy football. Because a quarterback's best friend is always going to be a tight end. And George seems to flourish when we get backup tight ends in the game, or the backup quarterbacks in the game.
Because he knows he's the guy who's going to be that security blanket a little bit. So
he set the tight end receiving record with basically backup quarterbacks the whole year.
Yep, so, he did.
Yes. So that's fantasy football. Now coming with the betting here. All right. So right now, and again, a lot of this has changed since this morning because I did all this before I left at 6:00 this morning to go to work. So I haven't looked to see what it's changed for. But at the time,
I did see something where Niners are now underdogs, but I don't remember. I saw.
We were underdogs the whole time.
Oh, okay.
We were all. So obviously with this one, The over-under was at 3. In fact, you know what? Screw it. Let me see what it is right now.
Okay.
See if it's changed at all. All right. Yeah.
Steve-O says 5.5.
Yep. Literally, as soon as you said that, I finally got it. So 5.5 to the pack.
Okay.
What are you taking?
I don't really I don't know.
Oh, you know what? My thing has not gone off for a while, so I've actually missed some stuff here. So let me pull this back up.
5.
We got Mr. McNiner in the house. Thank you for joining us, David. Sorry, my chat didn't scroll down like it usually was, so I thought everybody was just being quiet. And apparently, I missed a whole lot. So, David, thank you for showing up, Mr. McNiner. And then we also got Kenny 49ers in there.
Mm-hmm.
Alden is better than Brock. Everyone just chill. We still got a sister. All right. Again, everybody, I'm sorry. Like I said, my chat hadn't moved in a while, so I thought everybody just wasn't talking. But apparently, y'all have been talking, and I apologize for missing out on all these comments. But yeah, so it's 5.5 to the Packers. Would you take that one?
I guess so. To be honest, the betting stuff kind of confuses me, but I guess that.
So do you think the Packers could win by more or less than 5.5 points?
Oh, win more or less?
Mm-hmm. That's what it has right now. Or would you take the Niners winning?
I want the Niners to win, but this is such a tough
I remember you're betting money here. This isn't all just about loyalty.
I know.
This is actual money.
Yeah, I think I hate to say it, but I think unless a miracle happens, we're not winning.
So, I mean, I would take the Packers at 5.5 on this one.
I it sounds right. I don't feel like it's going to be a blowout. I feel like it's going to be kind of a closest game. I feel like the Niners are going to try to fight, but I feel like that's right. The 5.5, yeah.
All right, so the over under for points right now, assuming the points is going to be, it was 46.5. It's gone down to 44.5. So combined points 44.5 for both teams. Do you think that's going to go over or under?
So each team would score 20 something.
Yep. I took the over on this one.
Yeah, I think I'll take the over.
All right. One of my bets, and this is pretty much a bet every week, you're going to win it most of the time. Obviously, we won it 20 some odd games in a row at one point. CMC anytime touchdown. That means he can score at any point, and you bet on it.
Yeah.
All right. Jordan Love, 1 interception. Oh, I think it's 0.5. Basically, do you think he'll have 1 or more?
I think. Is he gonna have more than 1? He might have more than 1. I feel like the defense is gonna.
But see, right, you're betting that he has at least 1. He can throw 5, but you're betting.
Yeah,
right now
he's gonna at least have 1. He'll at least have 1. Yeah.
All right. And then Juwan Jennings, I had him going plus 50 yards. I don't think I'd make that bet now.
No,
as of this one, I did.
Purdy was in, yes, but since Purdy's not in, I don't. I feel like 50 would be the max for him now, right now.
Toothless? You mean the dragon? Like the live action How to Train Your Dragon? Which I can't wait to see, honestly. All right. And then TJ's favorite slide of the week. Here is some of your famous Packer fans. Got Joan Jett. Everybody knows about Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne is, probably the Packers fan right now. We had Jodie Foster, I forget what movie this she was, but she had to wear a Vikings sweatshirt because her character was a big Vikings fan. And she actually put in her contract to make 50 or make more money because she had to wear Vikings gear.
Because of that.
Yep.
That's
And
funny. I respect that.
yeah. And then last but not least, R.I.P. to one of, if not one of the funniest men of all time, Chris Farley.
Cool.
50 yards is mid. Yeah. Toothless. Kenny going with the Ebonics version of the word toothless. All right, that's everything that we have for you this evening, everybody. Final thoughts on this game?
I just feel like this is going to be a weird game regardless. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's going to be tough. I think it's going to be a tough game. I think this game is going to prove, like, I've just had a weird vibe all season with this team. I just feel like there's just been something off this whole year. I don't know what it is. I don't even think it's necessarily bad. I just feel like there's been a lot of stuff going on and with this team. And so I feel like this is going to be the game where we're going to show, like, if there's any remaining of, like, the last few years of, like, this team wanting to fight and, like, you know, try to go for it. I feel like this could be that game where we really see, and I feel like we've seen sparks of that throughout the season, but I feel like this is really going to be like the test. Like they're the underdogs. They're going away. They're going into enemy territory. So we'll just have to see what happens. But yeah, it's going to be. I think it's, and I also think it's just going to be a weird game. So
I would say this. Well, I don't necessarily agree everything that PFF does with their rankings.
mm-hmm.
Jake Brendo is ranked or his rating is so bad, it brings the entire offensive line. Not like I said, I'm not saying our offensive line is good by any means, but it's amazing how bad it is, simply because of Jake Brendo is so low. Like I said, I don't know if you guys heard of people who qualify as starting centers in the NFL. We have 32 teams in the NFL. Jake Brendo is the 40th ranked starting center in the NFL. That means there is other centers who have played enough to qualify for the list that are better than Brendo. He's absolutely putrid, which is why, me included, most people want to see Feliciano out there playing center. Kenny, so much for spoiling the 3P. Yeah, it's looking that way. Looks like it's going to be up to maybe the Bills, or the Ravens to stop that 3P.
Please, Bills or Ravens, please. I don't care about anything else. Just don't let them. Just stop them, please.
Kenny, I'm not sure what you're seeing in Jake Brendo when literally everybody, including NFL experts, are saying that he's like the weakest weak link of every weak links in the history of weak links.
I think our offensive line is like this weird enigma because, like, stat-wise and, like, PFF, like, we're ranked so terribly. But, like, it's so weird. This whole line is so weird because there's moments where they play fine and then there's moments where they completely, like, shut down. And
Brendo has pictures of Kenny. That's all I can think of. Brendo has pictures of Kenny in compromising situations and says, if you don't go on to people's shows and talk me up, I'm going to release him. Because other than that, Kenny, I don't understand why you would talk Brendo up when, like I said, out of 1 million people, you'd be the one person sticking up for Jake Brendo.
Yeah, we'll see.
And he has been since the preseason. I give him that. He has he has stuck to his word since the preseason on. So I give Kenny that. Kenny is loyal. Let's see. Little man 99. Not gonna lie, the 49ers might not make it to the playoffs. Well, my man, you have a point. We just might not with how things are looking, man.
I think if the season keeps playing out the way it has, there's a very good shot of us not making the playoffs.
You know what I mean? We are known for those second half runs. So, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
But with everything else that's going on, I don't know. These next probably 3 weeks determine if, we keep the faith and keep going looking forward to the playoffs, or if I start doing breakdowns for the draft here
Draft
shortly.
already.
Yeah.
Oh man. I mean,
All right, but
it'd be a wild off season, like postseason for us because we've been to the postseason the last few years. So
well, that's what I've said this for a while. I've said this team, Matt Teo was correct. This team is both physically and mentally tired. They have played 60 games in the last 3 seasons. Basically they've, with our deep postseason runs, it's equated another full season for these guys. So if you're a second year player or if you're a fourth or fifth year player, you've actually played 6 or 7 years. It's just added. Sorry, that adds up. You add in the stress of losing 2 Super Bowls, NFC Championship games, that will beat you on. And I know everybody says, "Well, the Chiefs are beat up. The Chiefs has injuries," but the things they do have, they have 2 rings, and winning cures everything. You feel better if you have those rings. You feel better. We don't have rings, so all that pressure and everything else is just stacked on our chest, and we feel it. Whereas the Chiefs don't have that pressure because they've proven they can do it. So that to me is the biggest thing. They're just tired, and I almost think that not making the playoffs, everybody taking an elongated rest. I don't care where you work. Kyle Shanahan looks like he's aged about 9 years just this season. Kyle Shanahan needs to leave his phone at home and go out into the middle of nowhere for like a month, and just because I think he just needs to get his head straight. I know he's making stupid and weird decisions and stuff like that. I think he's just cracked a little bit. He needs a break.
I think you've hit the nail on the head. I think that is exactly what is happening. I feel like we got a little bit of this with the 2020 with the COVID year, but because it was COVID and everything was so weird, we didn't really get to see it. But with this is the first year where we're getting to see it. We get the second Super Bowl loss. This team is tired. They are I think you're 100% right. I think they're mentally and they are physically tired. And honestly,
I'm not
I
on
think
the
you're
fire,
right.
Kyle.
I think them missing the playoffs this year, having that extra rest, having them being able to have time away is 100% what they probably need right now.
And I'll give it Steve-O. I'm not on the fire Kyle Shanahan.
Oh, I'm not either.
We fire Kyle, he has a job within 12 hours, if not less. He would have every other, probably 27, 28 other teams calling him their OC instantly. We got little man up here. I think it's good for us to not make it so our players can rest and get better mentally. Again, like I said, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. Obviously, I want my team in the playoffs and I want them to go far, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Kenny, Kyle won't listen to me, but he needs to go camping. He needs some shrooms. Yeah, like I said, he needs to go somewhere, and just become one with nature for a month and just let everything go and breathe. I think he needs that something.
Yeah.
Cure you up right. Steve-O's telling Kenny to go start a Jackbox. I haven't played that in a while because now they start the Jackbox when our show starts. Bastards. But all right, I have to get up in like a few hours, go back to work. So, Jamie, last words before we get out of here?
Nothing very much to say. I think, we'll just see how the game goes this week. We'll just keep hanging in there, support our team best as we can, enjoy the crazy ride that it has been this season, because it has been a ride. I will say that. So.
And then you're going to be on tomorrow with the pressers, right?
Yeah, I will be on. It just depends. We'll see with the whole with what time, and then with TJ with his internet issue, because he normally gives me the clips. So
yeah, we'll see.
We'll make it work. I will try to do it as early as I can. I do kind of like to do it between that 2 and 4 spot. It seems to be a good time for people. So kind of anticipate that time, but definitely keep you guys posted.
All right. And then obviously on Sunday, TJ, hopefully by then he's got his internet thing moved. Somebody will do the pregame.
Yeah.
I'll do it. If for some reason he can't do it, I'll do the pregame. Like I said, maybe I'll get the wife on. She can jump. I've been trying to get her to jump on stream this whole week since she's the cheesehead and everything. And then I'll do the halftime show. Jamie will obviously be doing
Yep.
the
I
post
am
game
so
show.
far not scheduled to work, so I should be able to do the post game pretty quickly after the game. But I will let you guys know if I get called in, but I'm not anticipating it.
What's up, Sentinel? How you doing, brother? Thank you for showing up. We're just about to go off the air, but it's always good to see you, brother. All right, they're still talking about. All right, everybody. So again, thank you very much for showing up. We will talk to you guys. Jamie will see you guys tomorrow. I'll probably talk to you guys on Sunday. Fafatai te lava. One love, chat. Or faithful. How are you people?